Hey, welcome back to Direct to Review. You know what number this is, Celeste? This is number 10. This episode
70.
10. It feels like it, but it's not.
It's been 84 years.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, so welcome back to yet another episode. Once again, Trevor is not with us because he's gone all the time now.
Yes, he's busy with his life.
Apparently, which is stupid. Whatever.
He has a life.
But anyways, it is that time of the day again, the month again, the year again, whatever it is. It's time for binging. Time to talk about binging, which is a thing that you and I do. So, once again, this is Leonard, Celeste.
Hi.
Hi. Hello. All right. So first off, we need to just talk about something really quick because it's topical. Which
We're relevant.
We're never relevant. We're never ever relevant.
But now we are, kind of.
Kind of. Stranger Things 2 came out. Yeah.
Woo!
And since this is our Halloween episode, since we're going to be putting this out on a Tuesday instead of a Monday, yeah. Stranger Things 2. Now, we tried our hardest to binge it. We really did. But which we did. We did binge it.
We kind of did, but it came out on Friday.
Yeah.
We didn't start watching it until Sunday.
So we kind of failed.
We're bad people.
But anyways, we watched a crap ton. We're almost done. It's just that we didn't want to rush it. We love it so much. It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so much better than the first season. The first season wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. I loved it.
It sucked you in the first season. You're like, oh, the second season. I don't really know where you can go with this.
And I was the one that introduced you to that. That never happens.
That never happens.
So,
and one thing about Stranger Things is that has extreme bingeability.
Oh my God, yes.
Like, I can binge stuff and do other things, but when we're watching Stranger Things, we are watching Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah, you get sucked into it. It's kind of like one of those cheap tween novels from the 80s. Like, you read one.
Not familiar.
Babysitters clubs, oh, what's happening to her? Oh, I don't care. There's the next one. So far, it's absolutely incredible. We don't really want to talk too much about it because we really want you to watch it. But
you've already finished it because you're better people than we are.
Probably, yeah. But obviously, it still focuses around the town of Hawkins and Will and his connection to the Upside Down. We do, without saying too much about it, Eleven does play a role in this. And so does Barb. Barb plays a big role in this.
So it's funny, when we went to start season 2 of Stranger Things, it actually started us on episode 1.
No, episode 3.
Episode 3 of the first season, which was when Barb...
And all we had talked about was how we didn't know if Barb was dead or whatever. And we watched, and it showed us this. And we're like...
pulled into the pool of the Upside Down.
And we're like, oh, that's a weird way to start off a season. And then we looked at it and we're like, oh, no, it didn't start off a season at all.
Whoops.
Yeah, but definitely highly recommend it. All your favorite characters are back. Dustin... other kids.
Barb is present, okay? She may not be alive, but she's present.
She's present. Nancy, Jonathan, Winona Ryder.
Steve.
Hopper.
Steve is Bay.
Which one's Steve? Oh, that guy with the weird hair. One of the many with the weird hair.
Steve.
So, and then Mike, and what's the kid? I always forget his name. Well, Lucas. Lucas is back with us again, too. Which he plays, and we get new characters.
Did you already say Dustin?
I did say Dustin. It was the first one I said. You have to say Dustin first.
Of course.
You have to, even though you don't like Dustin.
Dustin's
you
such
don't
a
like Dustin.
Bitch.
Anyways, find out why Celeste thinks he's a bitch when we review Stranger Things once we finish it, which should be this week. So we'll probably the next time, a couple weeks from now. So
we're bad people.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to what the topic was supposed to be about, which is Halloween episodes. Halloween episodes. Our top 5 Halloween episodes that you can stream right now. To preface this, not all of them are free. I struggled with one, and one in particular that I absolutely loved, and I refuse to get rid of it. So
technically, it has streamability, and that's one of the only ways you can watch it.
Exactly. So, how do you want to do? Let's start at number 5 for both of us.
Number 5.
So, let's ladies first. Go for it.
Okay. I'm not a lady. I'm nothing but a sister.
Okay, go for it. Just go.
Okay, for my number 5, I did American Dad, Best Little Horror House in Langley Falls.
Ah, that's a
And
good
that
one.
was in season 7, episode 3.
That's one where Stan creates the
haunted house
Yep.
with the actual serial killers.
and he's fighting fighting the neighbor down the street who is a Disney Imagineer. That's a fantastic one, and I think the best part about it is Yoshi.
Yes.
Him in his samurai outfit.
He has to find his sister.
And they do like a little Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which kind of melds two cultures together. It's fantastic.
I've never seen that, so I'll take your word on that.
Oh, okay, well. Anyways, that's a great one.
Anyway, if you want to pee your pants like Francine.
There you go. Until it squishes into your shoes.
True fear.
All right, so mine is actually a brand new thing. I love South Park. I was going to choose the Avengers episode, but instead the newest one is so fantastic. It's called Sons of Witches, season 20,
it's
episode
beautiful.
6. Season 21, sorry, episode 6. It's about all the like adult men, the dads in the town get together for Jack and Crack Witch Night.
It's a witch week, actually.
Witch week, that's right. They have witch parties up on the hill, and they like put fake curses on people. It's hilarious, but one goes too far and becomes a real witch and starts terrorizing the town. And the guys are just trying to prove that they are not like him. It's kind of a commentary on local political climate stuff, but
a full-on witch hunt happens.
But the best part is they kind of bring in their Trump character Garrison, and he fixes it all, which is hilarious. So just watch it. And Cartman's battle with his girlfriend is everything every guy feels.
He tries to kill his girlfriend. What? What? I mean, I'm not your girlfriend, but
yeah. Don't worry about it. Anyways, go watch it.
I did not make you an hour late to a pumpkin patch because lip gloss.
Not yet. Anyways, so it's streaming on Hulu. Go check it out. So number four. Go for it.
Oh, okay, me again.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep going back to you because I'm gonna be finishing it up. So it's not.
No, okay.
I don't want to repeat.
Oh, okay.
Let's
okay.
Go. Come on.
So I did the Purge episode of Blackish, which was last year, season 3, episode 5. I know you've never seen it.
I've never seen it. No.
So what happens is first Dre, the main character, he says, as a man, you have to be the man. And in the wild, remember that episode of American Dad where Steve and Stan
shoots
have
the deer? Is that the one?
No, the one was it that one where it's like the battle of the men. Who's the man of the house? So this happens.
Okay. Yeah.
And basically the way that Dre wins back his manhood is he pranks Junior, his son, and wins back the manhood title of the house. But my favorite part is they talk about cultural appropriation costumes. They have a super white neighbor named Janine who's like, I'm Beyonce, and she's like dressed up as a bee and Beyonce, and she's like, this is bronzer, it isn't blackface.
Uh-oh.
It's like, no girl, that's blackface.
That's fantastic.
And they also do a mini purge. They're like, Halloween, they're gonna prank you anyway. We're just gonna let them do it anyway the night before Halloween.
Holy crap.
It's the Purge.
Oh dear.
That's
Okay.
great. Would recommend on Hulu.
That's fantastic. Mine goes back a little bit farther, going to the 90s, early 2000s, with season 5, episode 3 of Frasier. Now, this is called Halloween. They didn't have inventive titles.
So creative.
So basically what it is Niles throws a big fancy party at his his gigantic apartment.
Seattle apartment.
And they're all dressed up as literary characters. It's supposed to be a night of like fun and like sophisticated fun. But what ends up happening...
Highbrow fun.
What ends up happening is that night, people start showing up and a bunch of antics take place, including, this is when Roz finds out she's going to have Alice, her daughter, but she didn't know she was pregnant, and everyone thought that Niles was the father, and they get into a big fight, and at one point they get super drunk, and it just goes so wrong. but it's so fantastic.
Wrong, but so right.
Yeah, it's just watch it. Like, it's been a long time since I've seen it, so I'm probably not describing it perfectly, but the puns that come from the costumes are fantastic. And in fact, Bulldog, I think, is Waldo from Where's Waldo, because it's his favorite literary character. Yeah, and Lady Godiva. Everyone's trying to going after Lady Godiva for obvious reasons. Yeah, so that's my recommendation. That's on, I believe it's on Hulu and Netflix. So give it a shot.
There you go.
Number 3.
Number 3, I did Halloween Surprise from Parks and Rec.
Oh,
This was season 5, episode 5. It's available on Netflix. This is the one where Jerry has a fart attack.
fart attack.
So Leslie and Anne
Trying to
are
remember
like,
that.
we're gonna go scare Tom. But they scare Jerry, and Jerry has a heart attack. But while he's having a heart attack, he is farting profusely.
God, I love that show.
And a lot of
I
other
absolutely love that
cool
show.
things happen. Like Ron goes trick-or-treating with his then girlfriend's daughters. And with Andy, he kind of messes it up. But, redemption in the end. And also, that's the episode where Ben proposes to Leslie. So,
That reminds me,
hey,
actually,
plus.
that reminds me of another Frasier episode. It's a Halloween episode, actually, where they scare Martin into having a heart attack.
There you go. That's probably where it came from.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think
But was it a fart attack?
it was not a fart attack. It was a
But
clown
not
attack.
as good.
All right, so my number 3 actually is another oldie but goodie. It's Everybody Loves Raymond, season 3, episode 6. It's called Halloween Candy. So once again, we find Ray and Deborah at odds as usual, fighting each other. But what they're trying to do is find a way to spice up their sex life. And Ray takes that as, oh, do you want me to go get the things? I'll get the things. So he goes and gets fun colored condoms. So they decide to have kind of like an adults' night out. And what ends up happening is Frank and Marie come over. Frank is dressed up as Frankenstein, as a kickback to his role in Young Frankenstein as Frankenstein. He actually dresses up as Young Frankenstein, which is the best part. But here comes the next part. So they're giving away candy, and what ends up happening is Frank eats most of the candy until they're all the way out. There are trick-or-treaters at the door, and he goes to
get a
find
Halloween surprise.
Yeah, he tries to find more candy and finds the colored condoms, thinking they are actual candy, and hands them out to all the kids in the neighborhood, which then requires, when they get back, Deborah and Ray to have to, call people. And then Ray was like, did you save at least one? So he had to go hunt down kids to go and try and get a condom. When he gets back, he's like, I got the things. Let's do it. Of course, Deborah rolls her eyes, goes upstairs. Fantastic episode. Highly, highly recommend watching it. Any of the Everybody Loves Raymond episodes. But
now they're only on Amazon, aren't they?
yep, you gotta go to Amazon. You gotta pay a little bit on that one, but I recommend it.
It used to be
or
on
iTunes.
Netflix. This is so disappointing.
I think it recently got taken off because honestly, I had just seen it.
I watched all of it.
Yeah.
I feel like fairly recently.
It had to have been recently, but all right, number 2.
Number 2.
Now we're getting to the good ones, the really good ones.
You cannot have Amy without her partner in crime, Tina.
Oh,
As
Tina
in
Fey.
Tina Fey, my babe. So this is from 30 Rock, available on Netflix. And it is called Halloween... Nope, I already said that one. What is it called? Stone Mountain.
Oh, okay.
So that's when they were like, we're gonna go find real talent from real Americans. And Jack and Liz
The
Lemon.
comedy club.
Yeah, go to the comedy club. And Jack is like, oh no, Liz got food poisoning. There, and pats her with the broom. But while all this is happening back in New York, Jenna Maroney, the crazy lead blonde, she's like, you guys have to stay loyal to me when this new writer comes. And one of the other girls mentions that, oh, hey guys, you can get into great Halloween parties with the gays, and
Oh.
Jenna has all the gays. And they're
That's
like, oh my
right.
god, we have to be friends with Jenna. But Jenna catches on, and she's just like, I will forgive you, but only if you don't forget me. So, and
Jenna
this
is
is
my
also
favorite.
the one where 2 famous people had died, and
Oh, they're waiting for the third.
yeah, and so Tracy's like, I'm gonna go kill someone. So he like calls Betty White, and Betty White is like, I'm going to go to your funeral, Tracy. And Jimmy Fallon's like, I'm gonna kill my first guest. They're all not gonna die.
Yeah.
Someone
Oh my God.
does end up
That's-
dying, but no one important.
That's not the one with Werewolf Bar Mitzvah, though.
No, because that wasn't necessarily a Halloween episode,
Yeah.
but that would be my favorite
But you know what?
Halloween song.
But you know what? It segues into mine, which is not necessarily... It's not a Halloween episode. It came out in February of 2000.
It doesn't happen to have a werewolf bar mitzvah that's
It does
spooky,
not.
scary.
No,
So
this is a
no
crossover
boys
episode,
becoming
actually.
wolves.
No, actually, this is from everybody's favorite spooky supernatural show from the 90s to early 2000s. And then recently,
It came back.
The X-Files. Big fan over here of X-Files, my entire family. But this
Super
one...
lame.
This one is my absolute favorite, which is the X-Files X-Cops episode, which is season 7, episode 12. Anybody who's a big fan of X-Files always searches this one out because it's one of the best. It's a crossover of the 2 hit shows at the time, X-Files and Cops.
Bad boys.
They do a whole thing where they go through a neighbor. The cops crew end up catching up with the FBI crew because there's been a werewolf attack, which none of the cops believe, and all of the crew is like,
Wait. So did they write this to where
what?
there was supposed to be a werewolf attack?
Yeah. So what
or-
ends up happening is the whole
because
thing.
they always use real cops on cops.
Well, not in this, obviously.
Oh.
So what ends up happening is Mulder and Scully go out to anything that's paranormal, right? So they get a call that in this neighborhood, people are getting killed by being like ripped apart. And I guess they were working on another case in the area, so they're like, all right, we're going to come out and see this. And when they get out there, they start seeing that people are getting killed, like their necks are being broken or like slashed inside out, something like that. It's actually kind of a terrifying episode, but it's fantastic. You even meet this amazing gay couple who are still my favorite gay couple on TV. Because
Ever. Can't
they're
top
just
it.
amazing. But anyways, so you're actually falling from the perspective of the camera crew, like in Cops. But what ends up happening is right off the bat, Mulder and Scully are talking about it, and Scully is trying to get rid of the camera crew. Like she's constantly ducking behind things or running away from them. And at one point, they were, camera crews usually jump into whatever available car is there. That's how it always goes with cops. They start with one cop and they end up with another. So the cops take off and they're like, oh, there's another attack down the street. So the camera crew's running. All the cops have already taken off, and Scully jumps into her car with Mulder. Well, I don't think Mulder was with her because I think he ended up going with one of the cops. So she jumps in and they open the door and she's like, no, slams the door and takes off. So, I mean, it's such a funny episode. And, X-Files had a few funny episodes, not like a ton. There's one where they, had to bleep the whole episode. It was fantastic because they're, going from a perspective of a storyteller. And he, cusses a ton. So it's just, they have to bleep themselves. So it's bup, beep, or that blankety thing, that blankety blank thing. They just had to keep saying that in their lines. That was a funny episode, but this one is one of my absolute favorite. Highly recommend. Go check it out, right now. It didn't make number 1 because my number 1 is actually kind of, iconic. And I kind of had to give it number 1, so.
It's not. It's a great pumpkin Charlie Brown, is it?
It's not.
That wasn't on my
No.
list either.
But it's not an
Everyone's always.
episode. It's not an episode, though.
Yeah, but everyone's like, that is what you watch on Halloween.
No, you watch Halloween on Halloween. Anyways, number 1! Go for it.
Okay, my number 1 was the Full Bars episode of Bob's Burgers.
Yes.
Season 3, episode 2.
Queen Latifah, give me strength!
Gina's Queen Latifah. Tina is a mummy. She wraps herself in toilet paper and carries her in a doll because she's a mommy. And Oh, I forget what Louise was. I feel like she was Edward Scissorhands.
She was, yeah. I think that was the
Yeah.
episode she was
So
Edward
they
Scissorhands.
go to this rich island to go get the full bars from the rich neighborhood, which is, common TV trope. We're gonna go get
Yeah.
the full. That was even on Stranger Things.
Actually, yeah, that was.
We gotta go get the full bars.
Well, when you're a kid, that's what you want.
Exactly.
Like when I used to go trick or treating, there was only one side of town that you ever got candy. So,
So
I mean,
that's where they went. Well, not to the one side, but they went to go get their full bars.
Yeah.
And in the midst of it, get caught up in this high school prank and a twisted love story of star-crossed teenage lovers.
that's such a grand episode.
It is.
It's like
great.
it goes so far, and all the while, Bob and Linda go and kill a hamster. So, or a guinea
It was
pig.
an
A
accident.
guinea pig.
But Linda was a beautiful mermaid, and I appreciate that.
Yes, that was fantastic. That was a great episode.
Mm-hmm.
All right, mine. I kind of did a little bit of a cop out. I apologize, but that's because I couldn't find the exact one.
Boo.
I know, I suck. Anyways, mine is Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors. Literally all of them. You cannot find a bad one. I mean, everything from I Know What You Diddly Did Last Summer, where they end up hitting Flanders while he's on his midnight, get this, midnight fog jogs. And kill him, but he ends up not dead because he's a werewolf, to the one where they have all these advertisements coming to life, tacking the towns, and they have to come up with a jingle to say, just don't look, just don't look. Such an amazing thing.
Such a good philosophy for life.
And then I'm excited. I haven't seen the newest one, but it has Coraline in it. It's called Lisa Line. And it's like all claymation Tim Burton style, which the best part about The Simpsons, and what most people don't know, is that all of the episodes are composed by Danny Elfman. Now, recently they did drop Danny Elfman, but I believe they brought him back for a couple of episodes. I'm not 100% sure on that. But Danny Elfman, to those who don't know, is the amazing voice of Jack Skellington and the composer of Nightmare Before Christmas, A Corpse Bride,
that's
Coraline.
beautiful.
He is the creepy composer, and he made the Simpsons intro, the theme. He was the one that came up with that, and he's the one that came up with most of the music that you hear within the Simpsons universe. So when you add that into his actual element, which is horror, it makes it that much better because they come up with some crazy crap. Now, from their couch gags all the way through to the end of the episode, you have some great comedy. And the best part is that they're usually 3 stories rolled into one. So they get to do stuff in these episodes that they don't get to do in the canon of Simpsons. Because they do, believe it or not, with The Simpsons, continue episodes. Like when Dr. Nick got killed in the movies, he's not around anymore. Like...
Oh.
That's the thing. Like they will kill people, like Bleeding Gums Murphy and
Flanders' wife.
Flanders' wife and Mrs. Krabappel and all of those because they had to or they were forced to. Mrs. Krabappel, the actress, died, so they couldn't do anything about it. And that one was heartbreaking because the gag at the beginning shows Flanders. What was it? I think he was just happy with Mrs. Krabappel in her house and everything, and he wakes up with a rest in peace next to his bed of Mrs. Krabappel and his wife, and all he goes is "my special angels," and he goes back to sleep. Like this is stuff they do.
That's so sad.
It's so fantastic at the same time. So go watch any of the many episodes of Treehouse of Horrors. I believe it started in the first season, so there should be like 28?
A few.
28 or 29 of them. You could get through them pretty quickly because they're only about 26, 27 minutes, so go for it. Yeah.
Just do it in between trick-or-treaters.
Exactly. Just like, all right, we got one jerk grabbing all the candy. Let's go on. All right, so... Do you have any Halloween stories? Have any trick-or-treating disaster stories or anything?
One time. Oh, it was probably...
This one time at band camp?
This one time at band camp? No, this one time. I think it was in middle school. A group of me and my compadres, we were like, we're young enough to go trick-or-treating still. Screw you, society. So we did. And this was in Lemoore, so we ended up on the naval base because that's where one of them lived.
All right, naval base time.
We started walking around the naval base, trick-or-treating there. One thing about bases is everywhere looks the same.
Did you get lost on a military base?
I got lost in a military base.
That sounds like fun.
It wasn't even my first time on the base, because if you live in Lemoore, like, you go to the base for a lot of reasons.
Right,
Like, you don't have to be in the military. Well, you know, you just have to have extreme background checks and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we eventually get lost in this base. We were with the person that lived there, and they were lost.
They just couldn't find that. You couldn't. What were you looking for exactly?
We were looking for their house, and it all looked the same. Every street was the same. You know, little houses made of ticky tacky, and they all look just the same.
Exactly.
That is life on a base.
That's terrifying.
Eventually, we found our way, and this was before smartphones. We didn't have GPS.
You were just lost.
We were just lost on this military base. We're like, hopefully they don't come after us or something, you know, a bunch of stupid 13, 14-year-olds. So
for me, I was 5 or 6 years old. I can remember it like it was yesterday. So there was only one side of town you could go, really, to get candy.
For the candy.
Because, I mean, you could go anywhere, but you're going to get hurt on the other sides. So
they'll rough you up.
In Sanger, there's one particular side where, and for some reason, this is the way Sanger is, a lot of movie people lived. A lot of people in special effects, a lot of people that worked on films.
It's all that sweet country.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be, because it's just a commuter town. But anyway, so we'd go into this one time where they had the most amazing Halloween decorations. One guy who wrote, I believe he wrote a portion of, and then worked on special effects for Ghostbusters. The original film, he had an Echo 1, like one of the original cars.
Nice.
So we would go see that, and he worked also on the 1989 Batman films and a bunch of other stuff. It'd be so cool to see it. And then you had people that worked on Aliens and Predator, and you had all these people who worked in incredible places. So you could go on the site and just basically see a museum of horror movies. It was really cool. And it was just garages, just dotted down the line. It was really fun. But then we got to this one house. So at the near end of the night, I was 5 years old. I was very small.
You were a babe.
And my parents sent me up to go to the door. I go up the door, and a guy jumps out of a trash can and ruins my night.
Did you pee yourself?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
But what it did do was it made me afraid of trick-or-treating ever again.
Oh, did you not go after that?
I would go because my sister would go, and I would be forced to go. But I was terrified the entire time. The entire time. And to this day, it still causes problems for me. I still get nervous. I still get nervous going outside. So there's that. And
stepping outside is always an adventure.
It's not agoraphobia either. It's just being afraid of werewolves jumping from trash cans.
A legitimate fear always.
Always. All right. Well, obviously, this is going to be Halloween when this comes out. So have a happy and safe Halloween, whatever time it is, whatever you're doing, streaming or watching. Get some great movies. Definitely get Halloween, because obviously you got to watch Halloween on Halloween.
Gotta watch Halloween.
That's what you got to do. And maybe Alien or Aliens or whatever the hell you like, or Friday the 13th or yeah, like a billion.
Or else you'll be watching them in November, and you'll be judged for it.
Yeah, a little bit. You should be watching other things by then. Come on now. Anyways. All right, all. So for myself, for my lovely wife, Celeste, for Mr. Trevor Thomas out in the ether somewhere doing his thing.
Do we know if he's alive? Have we heard from him?
You know what? I don't know.
Oh, I hope you're alive, Trevor.
Yeah.
We love you.
Send us blink the lights a few times for us if you're in the upside down.
No joke. That happens every time we watch Stranger Things. We always really walk past the blinking lights, and it's like,
who's trying to talk to us? No. All right, everyone. Have a great whatever time of day it is. Have a happy Halloween, a safe one, and make sure you don't eat too much candy, because it's just gonna mess up your stomach. Just letting you know now, it's gonna mess up your stomach.
Adult life.
Hashtag adulting. All right. We'll see you later. Talking to you then. I don't know. These endings are always horrible. See ya!